there, it's Kimberly here with Knit for Brains, and today I'm going to show you the 3 hacks that I found that work really, really good when it comes to warping my Rigid Heddle Looms. So stay tuned. Hey there, Kimberly here with Knit for Brains. Okay, so Rigid Heddle looming or weaving is something that's relatively new to me. So this is sort of like a learn as we go kind of a thing. But this is, I'm using my Shat Flip 20-inch Rigid Heddle loom. I also have a Floor Shaft floor loom upstairs, and two of the 3 hacks I'm going to show you today will work on either a floor loom or a Rigid Heddle loom, depending on what you have. But right now, I'm going to show you how I warp my Shat 20-inch Flip Rigid Heddle loom. And there are 3 hacks that I have figured out that make things so much easier. The first thing I'm going to show you is when you get a loom, you get a warping peg, which is the one peg that sits at the bottom of the loom or at the end of the loom, and that's what you wrap your warp around. Well, what I was finding was that the ends end up being uneven because as they come to a point, the point is going to be, I think, the shortest point, and then the other ones are going to come in being longer because they're coming in at an angle, or vice versa. But anyways, you get the point. They're uneven. So I was doing some research and I found this post about somebody who had actually made a warping pole. So all the warps are actually going to be even going across the board basically as they're coming through the warp. Now this is doing direct warping. On my floor loom, this is the one thing that doesn't work because on the floor loom, I always do the indirect warping using my warping board. So this one is specific to any Rigid Heddle loom that you're going to have, whether it's an Ashford, a samplet loom, a small one, a Luca, whatever loom you've got, this should work. And I really find, I've done this now 3 or 4 times, and I find that the ends are a lot more even, and it's just a really easy warping process. That's the first thing I'm going to show you. What we did, we being the Brit and I, we fashioned this basically, we measured it out. This is our bar in the backyard, and we measured out 100 yards or 100 inches. So right about here to the end is 100 inches. So what we did was we found just this regular dowel that we got at our local hardware store, and this is I think it's a 1-inch round. Looks like this, okay? And the Brit, aka the husband, fashioned this kind of a holder right in here, but you could get any kind of like a metal bracket and then just attach it to a piece of wood. So the warp is going to come off of the loom all the way down here, wrap around this dowel, and then go back over. The only thing you need to make sure that happens is you need to be able to lift so that you can wrap your warp on here as it comes through. And what happens is as the warp starts to add, the yarns start to add tension to this pole, you find that it might start moving. So I did attach some clamps down here. These are all things you can get at your basic hardware store just to hold it in place. But what I also do is you want to make sure that you just have like something to brace it. So I just have a pot sitting here so that the warp isn't going to move, or that the pole isn't going to move, because then your warps are going to be uneven. So let me show you how this works. So I've attached my first yarn, and I've attached it to the end, the front beater bar, and I'm bringing it on down. What I'm doing here, and I've gone through my first slit, I like to start on the far and then working in this way so that my yarns don't cross over. So I just reach down, bring it around, and leave it there. And then I'm going to keep on moving from my right to my left. Okay, so my warp is done. You can see it down there at the end using the warping pole, and see how everything is nice and straight. So the Brit is actually going to help me. He's going to walk it towards. This is my second hack of the day, and you can do this for either Rigid Heddle or a floor loom. And these are going to be the spacers that I'm going to be using to keep the yarn separated and nice and even so it doesn't get full in the middle and then fall off the sides and warp on unevenly. And these are just cheapy blinds, Venetian or leveler blinds that you can find on Amazon. So try to find one. I got the 22 inch, which is the closest I could find to my 20-inch loom. And then what I did was I just snipped off the ends. So as he rolls it towards me, I'm going to be putting this on my back beam, and we can see how it spaces them all out. Where it go? All right. So he's going to lift off the bar at the end, and we're going to go ahead and bring it towards us. And he's giving it nice even tension. So I'm going to hold it in place with the ratchet. I just took the Venetians, I just cut the strings off. I'm going to run it underneath my warp, and I'm just going to place it right here to keep my warp nice and evenly spread. All right, and we're going to keep on moving. And I am at no shortage of these, and they work so well. So you just bring it in. See how it just keeps the warp really nice and evenly spread across. Let's go ahead and put another one on. I like this better than using like a craft paper or a contact paper, because then the paper sometimes gets crinkled, and then that tends to make my warp come on uneven. These, because they're all individual, I find works the best. And like I said, you can do this for both your Rigid Heddle Looms or your floor looms. Put one right here. I like to have one pretty much all the way on each side, so it's almost like one continuous roller. It's easier, I suppose it's possible to do this by yourself, but if you have a friend or a loved one who doesn't want to see you cry and scream in frustration, then it's really nice to have that help. We're just about done. And I like to keep that warping pole, if you will, on it all the way through. It doesn't make a lot of sense to cut it off and tie it at this point, because then you're gathering them again. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to bring this inside. I'm going to go ahead and clip back here, and then I'm just going to thread the holes of my warping beam, tie them onto the back. I'm going to show you another hack for that, and then we're going to be ready to warp and weave. Okay, so now I've got my loom all threaded on through all of my heddles, and I've tied off all of my ends, and I'm sitting at the back of my loom. What I'm going to do, and this is how I tie it onto the back beam, so I have the back beam coming over the top like this. I get a piece of scrap yarn, nice and long, and I'm going to thread it through my warp ends, and I'm going to tie it on. So I tie it onto the one end, and this is going to help me to save my warp end, so I'm not going to have so much waste at the end. So I just pick up my strands, and I take this yarn, and I just feed it through this bit right here, wrap it around my back beam, grab my next group of warp, and I just zigzag it all the way along to the end. So I just come in between them, pulling it all the way to the end. And this way, they'll all have even tension because they're all connected. I find that it's just a lot easier to get consistent tension across all of my warp ends than to tie them on individually and then have to keep going through and tightening them up, because once you tighten up one, then it will loosen up another one. This way here, this piece of scrap yarn controls the tension of all of them at the same time. And I had just, once I have all of my ends straight, I start off with a surgeon knot, and then once I know everything is straight and I have all of my holes warped, my slots and my holes, then I just go ahead and tie a regular square knot so it's going to stay secure. Here's my last one. All right, so as you can see, I then just took this yarn, and you can just use it here, and this is what controls the tension on my loom. So I've got it here in the neutral position, and I can just crank it, but this here controls the tension all at once. And then I'm just going to tie it off right here on the end. And I can do the same on the front of the warp as well. I'm just going to tie here. There we go. Then I can just go ahead and tighten my front and my back, engage my key, and I'm good. So now I'm going to go ahead and roll this all the way to my back beam, and I'm good to go. And now, as these Venetian blinds fall off the front, I'm just going to use them on the back as my spacers here on the back. Lock it up a little bit, give it a little good tight. Take these beams, or the little blinds, and then just, and like I said, if you get a cheap set of Venetian blinds, I think they cost me like maybe $10, $12 on Amazon, you have more than enough to cover both ends. As my husband, the Brit, lovingly pointed out, I did almost too good of a job with my warp using this scrap yarn to keep all of my ends straight. When I was doing the warping and I was using the warping pole as opposed to the peg, the ends are really straight. And so I didn't have to do a lot to keep my warping ends straight. And so this piece of scrap yarn back over in here, it kept everything nice and straight, but it really kind of didn't give me a super maximum benefit, shall we say. At any rate, it is done. So the 3 hacks that I find super, super helpful is using a warping dowel as opposed to the peg where everything comes to the point. And then when you're putting it on your back beam and then rolling it onto your front beam and then moving into your back beam before you start weaving, to use these Venetian blinds. So helpful. And like I said, these are 22 inch. My loom happens to be a 20 inch. So find the Venetian blinds that are closest to the width of your loom. And then if you need to, I just snipped them with some scissors, super easy. But they do have a nice little curve to them, which makes it really easy for them just to roll right up on the back beam. And then as you're rolling your warp through and weaving, these just fall out the back. It could not be simpler. And if I need more, you just buy more. So that was the second hack. And then the third hack was using this piece of scrap yarn to tie my warps on together. Now, if you look closely, you'll see that there are a few spaces where those warps were a little bit uneven and that yarn did its job. Like right in this one here, you can see this one is a lot shorter and this is a lot longer. So it really did its job of keeping everything nice and taut. And like I said, you just use it at one end and you tighten until everything is the same length. I find it makes it a lot easier. That way you don't have to like do the surgeon's knot, untie, retie until everything gets nice and easy. You just use this yarn here to pull it all nice and taut. And it also gives you more range. Like I still have this much. Really not gonna be able to do much with it. I mean, I can go up to the up level, maybe a few more turns, but that's really gonna be about it. This is my favorite part. So now that we're done, I put the heddle into my neutral position, which is right in the middle, and we go ahead and release the front brake, and then watch the whole thing just rolls right off. And you got this beautiful piece of fabric. And here you can see I just looped it on the back here. This was the front beam that I started with. So there you go. My 3 hacks to my Rigid Heddle loom, 2 of which you can actually use whether you're doing Rigid Heddle or floor loom. Thanks so much for watching. This is Kimberly with Knit for Brains. And as always, I'll see you soon.